Intros? Dude, we don't have time to be wasting for intros. You know why? Because we have so much content on today's show, it's bursting at the seams, you know? It's like totally just amazing. You can count them on your fingers. I'm serious. Right now, do it. We've got like, we're hosts. I'm Chris, and that's Grover.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No. Now Mike's away, but he'll be back with us soon enough, so just hold that finger for another time.
Pretties don't got fingers, dude.
And we've got Edna chatting with us, who's like the best thing since free toasters at the bank. And we've got all these bundle deals. I'll mention them in a second. Just a second. Now, hold on. You've got fingers left. So check this out. Today, we'll be talking about games that we've played this last week. I know, right? I mean, who out there wouldn't pay for extra DLC like that? And then we got something else that'll just totally make up after that. Totally call it like our topic for the week. That seems to work. Dude, that was like 30 fingers by now, right? It's crazy. But welcome to the PrinnyCast Roundtable. And I'll stop pretending like the show is completely epic because it's probably won't be. But
it is epic. It was 10 views. Totally epic.
Yes, and each and every one of you will have a life-changing experience because of this. Largely because you just wasted like 15 minutes of your life, but it was life-changing. As 15 minutes you'll never get back.
You could spend 15 minutes of your life clicking cookies.
Oh, sadly true. But first, talk about some game deals to cram into your Steam or Desura or phone, like 2 new bundles from Groupies, including Retro Groupie 3 with 5 games for about $1, and even more for $3 minimum. And a similar deal also gone on there is Clash of the World Bundles United Kingdom. They've been doing different sections of the world, and this one is a $1 minimum to get you everything in the bundle. Over at the almost always cool Bundle Stars deals, we've got Toxic Bundle with 10 games for $5, and the Indie Royale unleashed the debut 12 bundles with 9 games with an ever-increasing minimum. Buy early and get better deals. And there's the Humble Bundle team that used to be that way, but they've got something a little different going on with their setup lately. They've got the Humble Mobile Bundle 5, as well as the weekly bundle with the Oh Man, You Should Totally Check That Game Out presented by Devolver. So that's a lot of bundles this week, and there's a whole bunch of other companies who do this kind of stuff. They're just either newer, and I'm not quite ready to push them on the show because I don't want to be given something that's not quite reliable. And I'll go ahead and start with my games of the week because it kind of ties into that. I nabbed a bundle from the Indie Gala, and they seem a little poorly organized. They also have a questionable reputation online. I haven't got ripped off them so far, and I've bought a few times from them, so I'm tempted to add them to the weekly list. Now, stupidly enough, I did have a problem with that last bundle I bought from them because I'm so used to writing my personal stuff that when I was writing out the email to them, I said it was prinnycast@yahoo.com.
Oh, no.
Which does not exist.
Oh, no.
So I had to fix that with them, and it took them a while to get back with me with it, and they were definitely not chatty folks. But it got fixed. I got my games, so all's well. But they had some goodies I bought along with the Groupies Rogue Bundle from the last week, so between those two, I've been playing some Crayon Chronicles, which is a roguelike, and Jazz, Trump's Journey, for some random fun, and also been keeping up with ye old Tynan browser games still, and not much of anything else lately, so it's been so full of things happening, it's been just often fighting time to breathe, let alone game anything, and that may be not ending real time soon. There's a lot of stuff still happening. Again, sorry for the lack of Prinny Plays content. I have still not gotten to really test this little gizmo out I paid so much for, and I'll try to get a bloopers video together soon, but because there's
for reviews.
Yeah, the reviews too.
Just being some lazy bastards, dude.
There's just so much going on lately, but I don't think we're hurting too bad for it.
Well, you're busy. I'm busy with stuff, and Mike's moving. Ha ha ha.
So much. So what have you been playing this week? Usually I ask you first.
Well, I've been playing some Cookie Clicker.
No, yes, I have been doing that too.
Yep, I've been trying to get other people to play it too. I got one of my cousins to play it, and he left me a message afterwards saying, "You sadistic bastard, I hate you for showing me this game."
You villain, what have you done?
Yes, anybody, if I can get them to message it for about an hour, or if they have an OCD issue, oh my god, they either lock onto it and they're just like, this is just something to do, and they're like, oh god, I can't get the hell off it. Or they're OCD and they know what I'm trying to do, and they're like, you can go straight to hell. Go away now, leave me alone. But talking about hell, I've been playing Diablo 3. I beat the vanilla version of the game, and I'm now in the expansion, and I'm starting to see some little cheesy things they're doing. Like, just before the stream, I was doing runs, and I got in a run where I'm fighting a boss, and I'm killing these enemies that are really aggravating, and after I kill them all, I'm fighting the boss, suddenly all the enemies I just killed get up and start fighting again. And that's not so bad. I'm just like, okay, that's probably just one of their annoying bosses, that won't happen again. Then I go to another area, and the king is lying dead on the ground, and there's some it's spoilers. It's probably some worthless spoiler anyways, because the king's lying dead on the ground. This guy's like, haha, I've killed a king, I'll be king now. And your character flips the hell out suddenly and says, I will kill you before you're king. And it's just like, what's going on? And I got my ass handed to me by this person because I'm a wizard, and a wizard's a piece of junk that gets stomped on. It's just really, what the hell is going on? Why do I give a shit that he just killed his king? No. So why did I really just get an option to tell him, well, congratulations for you, or yes, I am very pissed that you killed the king that I've never met before. You will die now. But just have my character just
maybe there was an all-important cutscene that you accidentally skipped.
Yeah, just to really freak out for no apparent reason was just really confusing to me. Then I played SimCity and tons of mods and tons of stuff I'm not allowed to talk about because of NDA. So yeah, that's still going on. The very, very awesome things. That's anything that all I can say is that lots and lots of stuff going on in the background, and I'm not even because I can just keep talking about stuff I can't talk about. So there you go. Then I'm playing some Space Engineers, and that game is a game you do not want to play when you're having vertigo issues, which I was having when I was playing it, and still am playing it.
Oh.
And because you don't know what's up and down, and sometimes you're just sitting there spinning while you're doing stuff, and it's in space. I was explaining to Chris how I had my setup, one of my bases, and it was basically I'm above the asteroid in my ship that's upside down. So when I am inside my ship, I'm looking down at the asteroid. When I jump out of the ship, I have to flip over to land on the asteroid, which then I look up and see that my ship is upside down on the base. But to get back up to my ship, I have to fly up there in a jetpack, and while I'm flying up there, go upside down so I can get into my ship. Yeah.
Kind of sounds like some fans of Minecraft saw the movie Gravity and just put the two together.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. It's a lot like Minecraft, where you mine the asteroids and everything else, and you build ships. It's still very alpha, but so far I like everything I see. I haven't really built a ship yet. I'm so busy screwing around with my bases and stuff, and to keep myself from not running out of power, because if you run out of uranium or you don't have any solar panels, you are screwed. You are royally screwed, because your suit's going to run out of power and you're not going to be able to breathe, and you're going to be dead very quickly. So yeah,
they replace all the monsters with resource management, in other words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they still are probably going to add stuff later on, but yeah, that's it.
Well, some interesting stuff at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess our topic this week comes to try again.
This topic is brought to you by dyslexia and speech impediments.
But our topic this week comes to us thanks to Torrent Freak's recent interview with Square Enix, and more specifically Adam Sullivan, Square Enix of America's Senior Manager of Business and Legal Affairs, and how they say it understands that DRM shouldn't interfere with the gaming, and that there's currently no perfect solution, but profit dictates that the controversial practice should remain. Well, here's the quote.
Okay.
We have a well-known reputation for being very protective of our IPs, which does deter many would-be pirates. I don't know how that works. But however, effectiveness is notoriously difficult to measure. In short, we rely on the data available to us through our sales team and various vendors, along with customer feedback.
That is a very nice way of saying that we don't know what we're doing, but we're trying to do something about something we don't know about.
Pretty on the nose there.
Mm-hmm. I just don't see it affecting them that much, except for their MMOs.
They're trying to set it up where it's not really affecting the gamer's ability to play the game, which has been a problem, especially with EA, who really had, during the Spore era, they really had some evil DRM stuff.
Not just Spore.
Oh no, I'm more familiar with that particular debacle because that really brought the light on DRM, because it's been talked about a lot before then, but that's the one that even got talked about in the major media circuits. And usually the only thing the major media has anything to talk about when it comes to video games is, oh, this new system came out, or, oh, this should be blamed on video games, and that's pretty much all they care about. So yeah, that was a rarity.
I just know that when they did their research on exactly how much piracy goes on, and it's about, 35%?
It's pretty substantial.
Yeah, it's pretty big, and then they said you put a DRM on a game, and then they tested to see how much piracy was going on for the DRM game, and surprise, surprise, about 35%.
Actually, I thought it was higher, wasn't it?
Yeah, at one point it was actually 40%.
Because there was
Quest, it was 75%.
There were people that were buying the games that could not run them, so they were forced to pirate or get at least cracks for the games they already had.
Mm-hmm.
And that's ridiculous.
And they were just showing that the DRM was pointless because the piracy level did not change, or if it got worse at times.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a hard thing. For some of them you can make something pirate proof, like the MMOs. Even them, people can figure out how to make free servers and stuff. I mean, the only game I know that is completely unplayable and without legitimately playing it is Final Fantasy XI. And that's the system they used to make 11, so it's like that. It is so absurd that they swore never to do that again, just because of its complication. And anybody that plays 11 and used to see how it checked files, will understand clenching their fist in extreme frustration in their teeth of how aggravating that was. Because when you used to do updates, it wouldn't just check the files that needed an update. No, it would check every single file. And this could take about 8 hours. Finally, they fixed it, and it only searched for the files that needed changed. But yeah, it seems a lot of companies are getting better at it, though. Even EA's like, yeah, we realized that we screwed up, and we're going to make all our games less DRM now.
Well, sort of, because a lot of people do not consider Steam as a DRM, but it is. You have to have Steam on in some format, not necessarily online after the game is downloaded and purchased, but you still have to have it to run the game. And EA's version is Origin, right? And there's several other companies who do the same thing. I think Desura is technically one of those type of things too. And of course, everybody knows about the Xbox One controversy from early last year when they were basically saying the exact same thing.
Yeah. So, but for a while, offline mode for SimCity was not completely offline mode because you had to log into Origin before you play offline. But it is now fixed, fortunately.
Excellent. And I really don't mind those kinds of DRM. Unless it happens like what happened to Uplay, which was the Ubisoft's version of all of this, because they shut down not that long ago. And that has made most of the games that were on there unplayable because of the DRM, because you had to have Uplay to play it through. Now, that's not true for all of the games, because I'm pretty sure a lot of them you can still play offline modes. As far as I know, I've never used Uplay before, but
Uplay was a monstrosity. I mean, people say Origin's bad. Uplay is really bad. Or was really bad is the word. It was an abomination. It was kind of Ubisoft's way of trying to get into it.
Yeah.
And it went nowhere. Because Ubisoft is really bad at doing those kind of things.
It wasn't really their neck of the woods.
Yeah, Ubisoft is really good at making games, but they're also really, really horrible at technical support and just support as it is. Isn't it a German company? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure they're German, and I don't like to say it, but they've kind of got the head up their asses mentality from every time I've ever had to deal with their developers or anybody.
I get that a lot from any kind of tech support, usually.
For 2070, I remember when we went on the forum, and it was only for Germans, and I can't get anybody to answer any questions. And they're like, oh, you gotta go to this little tiny thread. It was a thread for English people, and all the problems for all English players would go into this little thread. Now, I'm talking one thread, one forum.
Which they probably only had one or two people that could deal with everything that was going in there.
And yeah, it was up into the thousands of replies for this one little tiny thread, and people freaked out. And me being one of them, I was just like, this is bullshit. The server was in German too, which means I would have to go find the thread, and the thread was in German until I clicked on it, and then it would turn English. Everything else is just straight German. And I freaked out. I freaked out big time, and I was one of the people that they finally made it so that you could tell the site, hey, please log in English. And then if they want, they can have it in the other language.
Now, if we were talking about a small indie developer, that would be a completely different story. You'd understand that. This is a major game with a multi-regional release. You have to have support for that. That comes with the territory, especially if you're releasing a game that will have some problems.
I just remember they were incredibly upset, and so were their forum people about the thing. They were just like that we were being selfish Americans. It's just like, I just want to be able to log into your forums and actually read what I'm looking at.
For me, it's not just a English thing, too. If a major game gets a major release in another country, I would fully expect them to have their support, too. I think it goes both ways, and I'm sure there's a lot of Europeans that get shafted through that.
Yeah, the Europeans are usually the ones that get screwed, and for Ubisoft, it's the Americans that get screwed, usually. It's unusual. I guess this is what the Europeans feel like. Dear God, I'm sorry. I have no clue that we act like that, because, man, that's what it feels like when Ubisoft does it to you. And I went off topic.
It's kind of related, I suppose. And I don't know, I think we pretty much covered the topic already. But I did have one last quote here from, let's call him Danny Sullivan, but that's a race car driver. Adam Sullivan. And he said, when free-to-play began trending, lots of people thought it would be the death of DRM. I remember talking with one free-to-play developer who couldn't imagine why any hackers would want to attack his games, since it was free and everything. 2 months later, they were barraged by several hacks. So long as we're concerned about things like data privacy, account sharing, and hacking, we'll need some form of DRM to protect ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable to have
it's hard to argue that.
Some DRM. I mean, there's a fine line between data protection for your game to protect the consumer and then just anti-piracy.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a lose-lose for everybody.
Because you would have to convince one side to completely stop. And I know the pirates aren't going to stop, and I know for damn well that the game companies aren't ever going to stop either.
Well, think of it this way, too. Say you bought a DVD of a movie that you've been really wanting to see, and you come home and you find out one of two things. Either A, it has to be played with the DVD player made from the company who made the movie, and nobody else's DVD player, or you have to go online every time you play the DVD so it can check to make sure that it's not a counterfeit and that you're not recording it.
Yeah, it has to have little Connect-like things that scan to make sure there's not multiple people watching. Yeah. The system has detected that CO2 levels in the air have determined that more than 4 people are in the area. Please remove them from the vicinity.
I just read 1984, man. That's kind of close to all that.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I used to know Wilson's number, and I would yell that at people sometimes. Wilson's whole number, they'd be like, Wilson, blah, 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 blah.
Future's here.
I don't think we've got that far, fortunately. We don't have the thought police in the Ministry of Love.
Yet. They're working on it. As far as us, you can follow us on Twitter at PrinnyCast and contact us with email at prinnycast@gmail.com. You can find the rest of our links to YouTube and Twitch channels down below when we're ever on them.
You know what's funny? People are still following my damn YouTube page.
they're finding your old footage and saying, "Oh, hey, I like watching this game."
I'm getting roughly 2 subscribes a week.
Man, that's more than the main channel. I
know.
Sad.
I'm just like, son of a bitch, stop!
You know, instead of Prinny Plays, I think we all should just start recording random videos sometimes, because we do this as well as a lot of those game players out there. I mean, not everybody. Trust me, there's a lot of people that are extremely entertaining to watch for one reason or the other, but I think just us uploading regular gameplay videos is just fine, and you've definitely proven that.
Oh yeah, I just need to get into the groove of it again.
Yep.
Oh shit, we're still in the middle, so we gotta end it.
Yes we are, but I thought that would be entertaining for the poor folks to hear.
Oh yeah, that'd be good for the hair too.
Yeah. So we'll see you all next time on PrinnyCast.
See you later.
See, that was epic, right?